Wait. Listen to this shit. That, my friends, is the most beautiful sound in all of Rainbow Six Siege, the sound of the suppressed spear. Now, we may be in a terrifying, disgusting LMG meta, but regardless of that, I still rock the spear suppressed instead, even in my diamond rank lobbies. But then, this happened. I had a game where I only used the suppressed spear, and I absolutely dominated with a solid 11 kills and 2 deaths. So this got me thinking, could the suppressor secretly be the best attachment in Rainbow Six? Just imagine the sound of pure flavor in every shot on every weapon, and a world where suppressors reign supreme. That's what I was hoping to achieve, so I set sail on this adventure and decided there was only one way we could find this out. I ran suppressors on every single gun for an entire week. The first thing we have to know when talking about suppressors is how they even work in the first place. This may vary slightly from one game to another and from real life, but in Rainbow Six, suppressors remove bullet tracers from the enemy perspective when shooting around them. What this means is that the direction the enemy is getting shot at from is no longer visible on their screen until they've actually been hit. This could give you a slight advantage in gunfights, especially if you have not amazing aim and whiff a few of your first shots. The downside to this though is you do lose some damage by equipping the suppressor, which could be your downfall in some instances. So my very first game went really great. I was dancing in a storm of sneaky silencer kills, living the high life and rocking a solid 1.5 KD in the process. Now, how much of this had to do with having a suppressor equipped? I would say probably none of it, and it mainly came down to good positioning and proper patience. This isn't a question you can just answer overnight, so we need to play lots and lots of games to know whether the suppressor gives us superpowers or if it's just a stupid move. The next game I went in feeling very confident. I just came off a coastline heater, had a fantastic day before with that 12-2 clubhouse game, and now I was ready to rinse and repeat and prove my suppressor theory. And I got smoked. Over and over and over. I wasn't even getting into gunfights. This was literally just poor teamwork and poor gameplay overall. Because of the fact I wasn't getting into gunfights, we can't really blame that on the suppressor. But then we got to overtime. Here I was using the MP5, which you may know is one of the lowest damage SMGs already, so adding the suppressor on was tanking that damage even more. Piling about 5,000 bullets into the Amaru still didn't take her out, and that was my first experience of suppressor regret. That's the moment where you would have killed an enemy if you didn't have a suppressor on, but instead you fall victim to them, losing your life while simultaneously allowing them to escape on a singular speck of HP. In this case, my teammate did get the kill and actually ended up winning the round, but it still hurt me on the inside, and it was the first glimpse of the suppressor failing me. Gotta give a point to the suppressor haters for that one. So we won the match, no help from me of course, and I decided to throw the towel in on the solo queue and actually find a squad to make myself and the suppressor look a little better. I decided to let the spear rest as I already knew it was a beast and bring out the Finka LMG. It went pretty well, I got a couple kills while sounding like a garden sprinkler at the same time. I made a stupid play, I cost us the round, but still proved the suppressor's worth. When I came storming in through the armory door, I was shooting at the Rook. Thanks to the suppressor, the smoke didn't realize I was there until it was too late. Even if Rook called it out when I got him, the smoke didn't have time to react because of the silence I did it with. If it were a loud firing LMG, he may have been aware of my position a little sooner, got into a better spot, or at least not been caught out in a sprint, and maybe even have killed me. That's gotta be a point for suppressors. The next round I managed to collect another couple kills and my teammates won a massive 1v1, which was definitely needed.
Let's go, Drew!
Rocking the spear again, the smoke was absolutely lost.
What is he doing?
This dude was trying to put a shield down while getting double teamed by me and the boys. Absolutely absurdity, I don't even know what to tell you there. We go on to take a huge man advantage only for everyone to die. These moments really hurt the soul, but we stay focused. I got this guy through the wall with a nice drone. I'm not sure whether or not he knew where he was getting shot from, but he had no chance either way.
Last one bathroom. Okay.
This 1v1 got intense, but it was kind of stupid. You can literally hear the bullet sink into him, but do no damage, so F. F in the chat. Drop an F in the comments for the boys. I actually can't really believe we were losing at this point. Like, we threw a couple rounds, but the enemies we were against were just so bad. In this round, they were just waiting and waiting and waiting and didn't get any control, only to push into our three-way crossfire and get smoked. Suppressor on the AUG was nasty though. This gun is a laser beam with and without it. This next round though is a great example of the suppressor coming in clutch. I missed a few bullets on the twitch when she comes in, and because of that, she didn't know where she's getting shot from. She could have tucked away when I started shooting at her, but didn't know which direction to tuck, landing me an easy one even with the whiff. Maybe we'll give like half a point for the suppressor there. We ended up losing the round and the game. That one was a tough loss, especially after those 2 thrown rounds.
Dude, he's literally he got like 3 of the luckiest kills I've ever seen all in one game.
We headed to Shaolei next, and this is a monumental match for the Suppressor gang. I didn't do much the first 2 rounds, but then whipped out the M4 suppressed on Maverick, which I'm a pretty big fan of. The recoil isn't bad at all with it, and it doesn't nerf too much damage either. The defense is where we really shine though, with the major highlight in round 5. Let's watch the clip first and talk about it after.
Main dead, that's Yana.
Ayana came main.
Floor's dead too, floor's dead too. The other one in lobby, it's ace.
Yeah, all good, all good.
I left.
So what did you notice? Well, the Yana didn't drone very well, obviously, because she didn't realize the hole in the wall I was staring through, but that's not all. The biggest thing here is when I'm shooting at Ayana, my bullets are going out the fireplace window at the same time. Because of the suppressor, the Flores hopping in the window after also didn't realize I was shooting in his direction, making him absolutely free. Easy 2K and an easy point for Suppressor. Moving on to Cafe, we went back to the classic Spear Suppressed, and I was able to capitalize off of a shitey setup by the defense this round.
I'm loading inside.
Okay, one's bakery counter.
Don't walk kitchen, don't walk kitchen.
You can also see that I had multiple gunfights in this circumstance, and the Suppressor did not hold me back at all.
Last one's site somewhere, right?
Damn.
Dude, they don't know where I'm at. I got a suppressor on.
That's the reason. That's the reason they don't know.
Look at he got no clue. He got no
That was
clue.
lost.
Our defense had some good moments and some not so good ones. Firstly, we tried out something new with the Alibi MX4 Storm. This one sounds like heaven and definitely something I would recommend if you want full body ASMR satisfaction during your defense rounds.
Dude, look at I did the quick calculus in my brain, bro. I was like, y equals mx plus b? Fucking pwn that kid.
If you're part of the Suppressor haters, you should enjoy this because this is going to be another point for them. This gunfight with Finka started out with 17 bullets and ended up with 0 and not even getting a confirmed kill. I did collect it after with the pistol, but the heat was a little too much.
Fuck, dude. I ran out of bullets in every gun.
Point goes to the haters. Speaking of haters, I have some more points because this bank round hurt my feelings a lot. I shot Cade so many times I literally called out that he was dead, only to find that it took an extra bullet to down him, but would have escaped with my life if only I didn't have the suppressor. Zero's gun is extremely good, but putting the suppressor on it turned it into a complete nightmare.
To that, man.
I wouldn't have died if I didn't have suppressor on, bro. That's unfortunate.
+1 bad category. Sag. Couple rounds later, almost landed me a tragic failure once again, but I semi made up for it with this shot on Alibi.
Blue dead.
I'm
coming up.
upstairs. Kitchen's clear. Kitchen's clear.
Nice.
Something about the spear, man. It's the perfect weapon for a suppressor. +10 to spear suppress category absolute W weapon.
I have no long angle, guys.
They got rid of the shield.
Despite my best efforts to get garage control and rack up a few kills, we lost the round and the match. The next bank match went a little smoother, however. Nokk is another operator that makes a lot of sense to run suppressor on. She's already sneaking around, you might as well add it to keep the gun a little sneakier too. Even after killing his teammate, the mute was still lost in the sauce, racking up a point for Suppressor gang. And as a final result, the winner is Spear Suppressed, obviously. So what's actually the conclusion here? Are suppressors good? Are they bad? Well, I think suppressors can be good, but only on some weapons. On most guns, you should definitely pass on rocking the suppressor at all costs. It really comes down to how the suppressor affects the recoil of the weapon and how much damage the gun has to begin with. For example, the recoil on the spear is very manageable and the suppressor actually helps make it even easier. At the same time, the spear does a lot of damage already and you probably won't even notice that damage fall off. For guns like the F2 on Twitch though, or the SMG11 on Smoke, the recoil is pretty high and putting the suppressor on is going to make it much more wonky and much less manageable than what you're used to. So for most guns, I'd pass. However, it is acceptable on some. Finka's Spear, Cade's AUG, and Nokk's FMG9 are all really good with the suppressor and sound kinda nice too. Ones that are optional but probably not ideal would be Finka's LMG, Mav's M4, Jaeger's 416, and Alibi's MX4 Storm. Basically, all the rest are just garbage and you're trolling. Except for Mozzie's Roni. That one's actually also really good because you can hit headshots with it, because you have to hit headshots with it anyway because it has like no bullets and does no damage. So yeah, anyway, switch up your attachments, try out some suppressors, and remember it's just a game, so go have some fun.